programming. This is lecture 11, and today's topic we're going to talk about conditional statements like if, if else, and nested if else. So let's first talk about what is a conditional statement. So basically, a conditional statements in C programming are used to make decision based on the conditions. Okay, so basically you make decision on the basis of those conditions. Suppose when someone asks you 5 greater than 4, then what can you give the answer of this question? So you can say that 5 is greater than 4, that is true. Okay, and if it is false, that you can say that it is false. Okay, suppose you can someone can ask you 5 is equal to 8, so that is false. So these are the conditional statements. Okay, and in mathematics we basically represent some conditional statements using some operators. Same way in C programming we use some relational operators to write our conditional statements. Okay, and also we will discuss about relational operators in detail in operators. Okay, see how can you write if else, if statement, nested if else. So these kind of conditional statements in C programming. So I'm going to first open VS Code. Okay, and here I have already created a file if else statement.c. So first of all I'm going to write the header file hatch include seo.h. Okay, then after the function name main function, and here the block of main function, and also you can write here return 0. Okay, so now first we will discuss about if statement. Okay, then after if else statement, and after that nested if else. So what is a if statement? So first of all, if is a keyword, a predefined word that has some meaning which can understand by a compiler. Okay, and already you know about what is a conditional statement, the conditional expression. So we have used different type of relational operators. Okay, in conditional statements, and the conditional statements always give you answer either yes or no, that is 1 or 0, true or false. Okay, so here I'm going to just take a variables int a is equal to 8 and another variable b that is equal to 9. Okay, and first understand what is how basically if statement works. So first write if keyword, after that okay, so small bracket, and here that is the scope of the if statement. Okay, so all the statement inside the if statements you can write inside here if block. Okay, and here you have to write some conditions. Okay, and that will give you either true or false. And on the basis of that statement, that true or false, this statement will execute it. If this statement inside this statement, suppose here some expression is written. Okay, we don't know what kind of expression this is, and this should be any conditional statement. And if this expression is 1, then after the statements inside the block will executed. Okay, so here I'm going to write a expression a less than b. So this is a conditional statement, and inside this block I'm going to write a statement as printf a is less than b. Okay, and I put a semicolon after that, and here I'm going to write a second statement if that statement, if that expression, okay, if that expression was right, then this is the second printf. Okay, this is the second printf. Also you can write here a backslash n. Okay, so here I have written a statement, and now you can see that if a less than b is correct, then this statement will execute it, otherwise this will not execute it. Okay, and a less than b generally gives you 1 or 0. Okay, if the statement is true, that it gives you 1. If the statement is false, that gives you 0. And inside if statement, if this will gives you 1, then after all the statement inside the if block will executed. Okay, so first of all I'm gonna save this program and gonna run this. Okay, so here you can see that a is less than b. Why? Because 8 is less than 9. That is correct. That is, and that gives you 1. So why the first printf executed and also the second will executed. Okay, now again, suppose here I'm gonna write another expression, that is a greater than b. Just save this program and run this. So here you can see that if that expression was right, then this is the second printf. There is only one printf will executed here, not the first one. That statement will not executed there. Why? Because a greater than b gives you false, that is 0, and inside if block, if it is 0, that all the statements inside the block will not executed. And here also you can write a lot of statement that as much as you can. This is also another printf. This is also, and okay, 1 minute, printf. Okay, and here, and suppose you're gonna write here a equal to b. So this is also another statement, and here you can write a equals b. Okay, so you have put a semicolon and also a semicolon. So first of all, just save this. Okay, and after that just run this C program. Here I have used another operator, equal, not equal. If you write double time equal operator, that will give you equal. Okay, and if a equals to b, that will give you true. If it will not, it will not execute it. So here I'm gonna just run this. So here you can see that if that expression was right, that is the second printf. Only this statement will executed. Why? Because 8 is not equal to 9. This statement is false. So here I'm gonna equal those numbers. 8 equal to 8. Okay, so that is a true statement. So I'm gonna just again run this. You can see that a equals to b. This is also another printf. If the expression was right, then this is the second printf. All the statement will executed. Okay, so this is basically your if statement. Okay, so and also this is a basic structure of if statement. Now I'm gonna write another statement, that is if else statement. What is a if else statement? So if you have a different kind of conditions and you want only execute these conditions. Okay, so you want to that if you want to operate, if you want to execute this statement only and you want this statement will not execute it, then there you can use if statement and else statement. Okay, so here I'm gonna write else keyword. Else is also a keyword. Okay, and here you don't need to write any block. Okay, so for else we have to only write the block and all the statement inside the block. And how this else statement will works, and how and what the mean of this else statement. Okay, so here if a equal to b, that means this all statement will executed. Okay, and if this statement is true, that means this statement will not executed. And if this statement inside the if expression will false, that means that will executed else statement. Okay, so here inside this if I'm gonna write another statement. Okay, and here I'm gonna write if statements. Okay, so I'm gonna write all to printf, all to previous printf. Okay, don't care about the grammar. All to previous printf were not executed. Okay, and okay, so that is inside the else statement. So here again I'm gonna run this C program. First save and run this C program. So you can see that A equals to B, and this is also another printf. The third statement will not execute it here inside the else part. Okay, and suppose you again here write another operators, relational operator, that is not equal to B. If A not equal to B, that means this statement is false, and that means these two statements will not execute it. Then after what will happen? If these two statements will not execute it, that means this printf will execute it. And so again save this file and again run this C program. Then you can see that all two previous printf were not executed. That is a if else statement. Okay, so using if else you can write various programs. You can practice a lot of programs by your own. Okay, so using if else statements, also you can make your own program. If this statement is true, that means what will happen. If those statement will true, that what will happen. Okay, and this is about if and else. Now suppose if we have a various kind of expressions. Okay, and this is another if else. So here I'm gonna just update this program as if, and here you can write here A not equal to B, A not equal to B. Okay, so if A equal to B, that will gives you A equals B. If not equal to B, that will not give you. Okay, so again run this C program. First of all save this C program and again run this program. So here A not equal to B. Okay, that will execute it if this statement is true. Suppose you want to check if those statements are equal. After that you can also check if A greater than B or not. Okay, so here I'm gonna write 9, and you have to check here if A greater than B. Okay, and here you can write A greater than B. Okay, and also you have taken another variable C is equal to 8. Sorry, just take another number like 3, and here you have check first, and in this problem you have to find which is the maximum number. Okay, so which value is higher? Here B is the higher value, but due to this program you have to understand which is the higher value. So here you have check if A greater than B first. So any statement if A greater than B, and as well as and. I will tell you about this AND operator. This is logical AND. Okay, and if A greater than C, that means A is greater than B and C. Okay, and the else part, if suppose these two statements are false. Okay, so any of this statement. Okay, so first of all I'm going to tell about this logical operator. What is this? So this is a logical AND. Okay, and what a logical AND tells, if here, so a logical AND operator basically gives you if those statement if both the statement is 0, and then the logical AND gives you 0 if both the statements. So if any value in these two statement is 0, then logical AND will gives you 0. Okay, so here if suppose here 0 and logical AND 1, that also gives you 0. So it is basically it gives you the value of multiplication. Okay, as when you use OR operator, that gives you plus. So here if first value is 1, another one is 0, that will gives you 0. And if both the statement is 1, that is both is correct, then it will gives you 1. So you can see that this logical AND operator will give you 1 when both the statements are true. Okay, suppose if the first statement is false, that means it is 0. So if the first statement is false, then this statement will always give you 0. Okay, so this will always give you 0. That means this will not execute the first statement. Okay, so here you can write A is not the greater number. Okay, is not a greater number, greatest number. Okay, among three. Greatest number you can only write here. So if these two statement will true, that means this will true. Okay, A is greater than B. So I'm just gonna run this C program. Just think the logic about this and tell me the output. Tell me the output in the comment section. Okay, so here I'm gonna just run this. So A not equal to B. Why? Sorry, that was a previously saved program. So first of all, I'm gonna save this. Again, run this C program. Okay, so here A is not the greatest number. Why? Because here you can see that A greater than B. A is 8 and B is 9 here. So 8 greater than 9. That is false. And also, if the first statement is false, the compiler will not check the next statement. Okay, and if it is 0, if A greater than B is 0, that means it will give you 0. That means false. So it will not execute this statement. That means it will execute the third statement. Sorry, the second printf. A is not the greatest number. Now we have to find which is the greatest number. Here 9 is the greatest number you know about. Okay, so how can you find this number? So here I'm gonna use nested if else. Okay, so what is a nested if else statement? So basically a nested if else statement is you gonna write since overall or if statement here, if you consider this whole if statement, that is also a single statement, and you can also write another statement inside a if statement like this. Okay, so here just maintain the scope block indentation. Okay, otherwise there is no need any indentation in C programming, but it is better to practice. Okay, so what is this? So here you can see that inside this if statement there is also another if statement. Okay, and also you can write here another else statement like this. Okay, and I'm gonna control C, and again you're gonna write here else statement. Okay, sorry, it was not copied here. Okay, so here you can again write another else statement inside a if statement. Okay, so what is this? So this is basically known as nested if else. Okay, so you have write a if statement, and inside if statement you have write a if statement or if and else both statement. You can write any one of them. Okay, that is known as a nested if else, and the concept is same how basically if statement works. And now here we have to find which is the largest number. Okay, if these two statements are correct, that means A is the greater number. Okay, so here I'm gonna first check here if uh, only if A greater than B. Okay, and here I'm not gonna print A is greater than B here. Okay, and first of all I have checked here if A greater than B. Okay, and then again you can check here if A greater than B and if A greater than C. Okay, that is A is greater than B and C. So you can write here A is the largest number. Okay, we know here A is the largest number. And also you can see that if this statement is false, that means what? That means in this if statement the another number will the largest number. How? Here A is greater than B. Okay, and A is greater than B, that is B is the smallest number here. If A is greater than C, okay, so if A is greater than C, that is correct. If then A is the largest number, otherwise C is the largest number here. So you can write here C is the largest number. Okay, C is the largest number. So here you have already predict that B is the smallest number. Either A is the largest number or either C is the largest number. Now what you gonna write in this else statement? So here you only write if B is greater than C. That means also that B is the largest number. Suppose if this condition is false, that means B is greater than A. That is B is greater than A. And now again if you check here in this else statement, okay, so here you can also write another if else statement. So just delete this and here copy this and again Control C and here you're gonna paste here, okay, in this way. So here what we will check, here I have already checked that A is greater than B. That means A is greater than B, A is larger than B. Okay, suppose this condition is false, that means B is larger than A. So what we will check here, we will just check here either B is greater than C or not. If B also greater than C, that means B is the largest number. Okay, and otherwise C is the largest number. So that is the program using nested if else. Okay, that is a program using nested if else. We can find which is the greater number. Okay, so here just save this C program. You can see here control. Okay, now I think you can see the whole program. Okay, so I'm just gonna save this and run this C program. So B is the largest number, you can see here. So also you have already take the value B is equal to 9. So B is the largest number, you can find through this nested if else. Also you can use only if statement to find which is the largest number. Okay, so here I'm just improve more this program, more readable. Okay, if I'm gonna write here %d, already you know that %d is A. Why? Because that is A is the largest number. Okay, again here I'm gonna write a %d and here I'm gonna write C is the largest number, and here again B is the largest number and %d. Okay, and here comma C. Okay, sorry, not C, it is B, and here also %d, and sorry, here I'm gonna write C is the largest number. And now you can write any value here. Suppose here 3, here you write 30, and here you write 18. So these are the three different values. And now you want to know which is the largest number. Here you can see that C is the largest number and the value is 30. So I'm gonna print which is the largest number. Just run this program. So here 30 is the largest number. Okay, also you can put this value, any value here, 300. Okay, that means 300 is the largest number. So using this nested if else, you can find which number is the largest number. Okay, so you have learned about what is a if statement, how basically if statement works, and what is a if else statement, and what is the nested if else statement. Now I'm gonna say you about a if else ladder. What is a if else ladder? So here you can see that if this statement, if A greater than B is true, that means this statement will execute. Okay, and suppose if you have more than this kind of statements, if first statement is true, that means you want to also check another if statement. So that is known as a if else ladder. Okay, so how can you see that? So first of all, uh, I'm gonna just delete this. Okay, okay, I'm not gonna delete this. I'm just comment that you can see it here. Okay, so first understand what is a nested if else. Okay, so you have already understand that things. Now if else ladder. So here, suppose if first statement is correct, so here you have find a is greater than b. Okay, so you're gonna just write here printf is greater than, just zoom. Okay, okay, yes, a is greater than b. Okay, and again you write another statement, that is else if. Okay, so what is else if? So here else if is a keyword and it will work as if statement. If the condition inside the if statement is true, then all the statement inside the if statement will execute it. Same way inside the else if the condition is true, that means all the statement inside this statement is executed. So here check, first check if a is greater than b, that is a is greater than b. Again it check if a is greater than c. Okay, so here I'm just gonna write a simple if else if ladder, not a program of which is a largest among three. Okay, so this is your homework. Using if else if ladder you can find which is the largest number. Okay, and if you want to get the answer of this program, I will write in the comment section. Okay, but if you gonna ask me, okay, so here a is greater than c. Okay, so again you can write another statement else if. So here if first statement is right, that means a is greater than b, and it will not check the another statement that is in else if. Okay, and if a is greater than c, so here also you can check here if b is greater than c, that is another statement. Okay, and here you can write here printf uh, b is greater than c, that is another statement. Okay, and here you can write else. Okay, so in else you can write here, this is not a program of which is the largest number. This is a simple program for you to understand how basically if else if ladder will work. So this is not nested if else, this is if else if ladder. Okay, so here first if a is greater than b, if this statement will true, that means a is not, this statement will not executed. And here if this statement is true, that means uh, this statement will not execute it. Sorry, so if first statement will true, that means all the statement will not executed, all the if else if. Okay, in if suppose if first statement, that is if a greater than b is false, that means it will check for second, that is if a greater than c. Okay, if also this will not executed, that means it will check for else if all the statement, suppose another, if we have another else if here is else if. Okay, so here I'm going to just write c greater than b. Okay, c greater than a. Okay, general, not a program it is, that is c is okay greater than a. Another statement, if all the statement will not executed, then the else part will executed. And here you can write here and any statement, that is just write um, all the values are equal, all values are equal. Okay, all values are equal. Okay, so this is a simple program to understand if else if ladder. So just save this and run this C program. So here it will give, okay, so sorry, I have missed a semicolon. Okay, control save, and where there is also missing of semicolon, sorry guys. Okay, yes, again save this, let me check, there is a semicolon. Okay, all the statements. So again run this C program. So here you can see that B is greater than C. Which statement is executed? That is this else if. Okay, and all the other if statement, else if statement will not executed, was not executed. Why? So let's check our question. We have this value. Okay, you can write anywhere. So I'm just copy this to here. Okay, why? Because you can see properly there. Okay, I'm gonna comment this. You can also delete this. Okay, so here you can see that int a is equal to 18, b is equal to 3, and c is equal to 30. So first statement is a greater than b. So a greater than b, that is false because 18 is not greater than 300. Okay, that means this condition false. This statement will not exist. So it will check for second if statement. So else if is something like is a second if statement. Okay, so if a greater than c, so here 18 is not greater than 30. That means this will also not executed. So it will check for next if statement, that is else if. Next is else if statement. Then here it says that b is greater than c, that is 300 is greater than 30. So b is greater than c. Okay, so this statement will execute it. And suppose if all the values are equal, that means it will print all the values are equal. So I'm just gonna save this and run this C program. So here all the values are equal. Why? Because it will check first for a greater than b, again it will check for a greater than c, again it check for b greater than c, c greater than a, every value, and after checking all the statements it will gives false. Then it will go for else statement. Okay, so else is like the remaining part. All the statement will was checked, after that else statement will execute it, and here all the values are equal. So this is all about the if statement, if else statement, nested if else statement, and if else ladder. Also I'm going to mention one thing, that if you have more than one statement inside the if block, then you can write a block here. Suppose if you have only one statement, okay, so here you can write only one statement, that is a printf. Okay, so for printf there is only one statement here, and okay, so you can delete this block also for only one statement. Why? Okay, so that will also work. You can directly write here in this way and also in this way. So do practice with blocks. If you have only one statement, then you can also delete the block. Okay, so I'm going to control S, save this and run this C program. So here you can see that all the values are equal. Suppose if you have a more than one statement inside if statement, I'm going to control C. Okay, so here one minute. Okay, I'm going to paste this here, control C, and you can control B. Why this is not working here? Okay, yeah, so here you can see that. So here there are more than one statement. Okay, and for this I'm gonna just write a value is higher. Why? Because we have to execute first statement. Okay, so control S and run this C program. So here you can see that it gives you else without a previous if. Okay, so it will, this else statement does not understand that if else statement. Why? Because it needs a block. So if you write more than one statement inside a if block, so you have to write a block. Okay, so do practice with block. Either you have written one statement or more than one statement. Okay, so do practice with blocks, the middle bracket. So here is greater than b, and also the another printf is greater than b, because here I'm not using a backslash n here. So just write here backslash n. Okay, and save this program, and you can run this. Okay, so a is greater than b, is greater than b, all the two statements will execute it. Okay, so if you write only one statement, do practice without the blocks. If you write more than one statement inside if, inside else if, okay, so then you can you can also, you cannot write, you don't need to write any block. Okay, that is the thing. Now uh, this is all about today's lecture, guys.